What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 24 of the Two Bros podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Joe. How's it going?
And this week, we got exposed Joe to new music. We got music news and our usual turn it up.
Turn it up.
So, we're almost done with the new song. That'll be ready for our next show. So 2 weeks from now, it'll be finished and complete.
Yeah, we could have rushed it, but we want to do it right. So
yeah, in the mastering phase, but also want to make sure. I want to get some like video of like the session and be able to play that, and then we can talk about it. Just so everybody can see what we're talking about, because we got video. Might as well start using it and showing it. Now, it's one thing just to talk about it, but people don't know. To see it, it's a whole nother thing. So. Might as well use that medium. But so how have you been? What's going on with you?
I've had a shitty week. My fridge went out. I came home from work Thursday and my fridge went out. Well, there's a puddle of water right by my fridge. And so my first thought was my dog, but my dog was outside all day when I went to work. I was like, no, he couldn't have been him. So then I closer examination of the fridge, I noticed it was dripping out of the water ice tray thing on the door. So it was dripping down there and forming a puddle. So I opened up the shit and it was all defrosted. So I was like, yeah. And what got me it made me think is the night before my dog didn't eat his food. Because what I normally do for him is I give him his kibble, but I buy a rotisserie chicken for him. And then I shred up some chicken and mix it in there with a kibble. And he loves to eat that. So the night before this happened, I think it was already going out because I gave him his normal food like I normally do, and he didn't eat anything. And normally if he doesn't eat, it's because he's sick, but like he's moping around, so I could tell like, oh, he's sick.
Yeah.
And he was reacting. We were playing and shit. So it wasn't he was sick. He just didn't eat. And I was like, what the hell's wrong with you? And so I, finally, after when I came home Thursday and I figured out that the fridge was out, then I put one and one together. He smelled his food and it was probably already going bad, the chicken, because it's been sitting in the fridge that was going out.
Which is crazy because my last two dogs, Sierra and Loki, one time, like we had ants at our old house. We had ant problems. Yeah. And we had this bin with the dog food and ants got into it. So I took it outside on the deck and everything. And I forgot about it out there, and it rained, and it got all nasty and shit. One day, I come home, and they're fucking munching right out of that thing. That thing must have like maggots growing out of it and stuff. Dude, dogs usually fucking the grosser it is will eat it.
He's like a fucking cat, though. He's always licking his paws.
Yeah.
Like when he's laying down his bed, he sits there licking his paw, but he's loud because he's a dog.
Yeah.
So he's not quiet like a cat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? So he's just like finicky. So I thought he was being a dick, but then I felt bad because I was like, oh, that's why he was probably looking at me funny, like, this motherfucker's trying to kill me. He's trying to poison me.
Yeah.
And even, so then Thursday he didn't really eat, but I know he was hungry, so he picked at his food. And I didn't give him the chicken. I just gave him straight kibble, which he doesn't like because he likes his chicken in there. But he did pick at that. He ate most of it because he was fucking hungry. It'd been like 2 days.
He's like, fuck it, I got to eat this shit.
And then, so Friday after work, because I worked half day Friday, so I went right after work. I went looking for a fridge, and I ordered one, and I said I need it, delivered as soon as possible. So they said they would deliver today. We're recording this on Saturday, and so I said, okay, cool, yeah, as long as I get it tomorrow, Saturday, I'll be cool. So Friday I fed him, but I just fed him some kibble. He wouldn't eat again. And then I'm thinking, what the fuck is wrong with him? Because I'm not putting none of that chicken. I threw all that, shit out.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, then I figured, maybe it has the taint in his bowl or some shit. So today I washed his bowls real good because he wasn't even drinking his water. And his water, I give him like bottled water. Like he's spoiled as fuck.
He's already right? He's all high in shit.
So like he wouldn't even drink that. I was like, you're not even drinking. So I made sure he seen me get his bowls and fucking he heard me washing them and shit. Because he's just real finicky. So I did that, and then after they finally brought the fridge and shit, I had to go get something to eat. So I got him some chicken, and then I came home and I I go, come here, look, and I shriveled it up for him, and he seen me do it like fresh. I go, this ain't from the refrigerator, motherfucker. The old refrigerator's out in the garage. I moved it out. We got the new refrigerator now. So I try to explain this to a fucking dog.
Yeah, you're fucking losing it, man.
Anyway, then he sniffs it and he starts eating because he's fucking starving because he really hasn't eaten good in like 3 days. So and then he went for his water. I guess he sniffed the water. Okay, now I can drink the water now. So he fucking drank like half his bowl of water. I'm like, holy shit.
That's weird though with the water. Like Loki and Sierra are finicky. Even Stella, she's a little. She'll get picky and not eat her breakfast sometimes, and then we have to take it away because Ranger will eat it when we leave. So, but yeah, to not drink water, like, dude, you're not.
Well, and then like it's been warm here, so I've been leaving him out in the backyard.
Yeah,
and he's got his bed out there and shit, and so I fill up his water dish out there. Every night, I fill it out for the morning.
Yeah.
So he's got like relatively fresh water out there, but he's not drinking the water out there either. So I was like, what? I think he thought, well, this motherfucker's poisoned me, so the outside water is fucked up too. So I think we're good now because he ate tonight and he drank, like I said, like half his bowl of water. And,
well, they get finicky. Like Jennifer will do that, and then she'll start trying to feed him other shit, and then I'll be like, just don't feed them for a day or two. They'll eat again. And when they want to eat, they'll eat. You just say, hey, here you go, try it. But, yeah. Well, at least now it was refrigerator.
Well, I don't know if he knows. I think he thinks I'm still trying to kill him. So he's on his guard.
All the animal people that don't have, or the people that don't have animals, are like, what the fuck with these whack jobs? Talking to dogs, trying to show them his chicken and shit.
I fuck with them, right? Yeah. So like when we're kicking it in the evening after work, I'll have dinner or whatever. So then we're watching some TV in the living room, and he's got his little bed in the living room, so he lays there. And like sometimes he wants to go out, so he'll start making noises like he's talking.
Yeah, a ranger does that.
And so I give him shit. I go, speak English. I don't understand that nonsense. And like he gets pissed off. He gets like, yeah. So I'm always giving him shit. So I don't know. It's funny. Yeah. And then he shakes his head no to me. He does this shit. Like if I tell him, okay, gonna go outside, I got to go to the store. He'll shake his head like he don't want to go outside. And so it took me a while to realize he was actually telling me no. He learned that. So yeah, he tells me no. So yeah, it's like having a little kid, I guess.
It is. They have their own personalities. Like Ranger, when he's irritated with you, he shows you teeth. And it's like usually teeth is like aggression or whatever they're, Yeah. No, it's just he's irritated with you. He'll look at you and just give you teeth. And then he licks your face. It's like, that's their personalities.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you want to get into some news other than life news?
So hopefully now there's going to start a new week here, so it'll turn, my luck will change here.
Yeah, you need the bad stuff to make the good stuff even better, make you appreciate it. All right, let's get on with music news. Music news. All right, so what do you got? You want to go first?
Yeah, we got, this one I caught, and I know you'd appreciate this from the old days. Aldo Nova's coming out with a new album, 2.0 Reloaded. Have you heard that?
No.
So I'm like, it's been like fucking 40 years since his last, so he hasn't done shit in like 40 years?
He hasn't put nothing out? Did you check on that?
Because it says,
discography or whatever?
He's got a new album coming out. It's called 2.0 Reloaded. And so 2.0 is like up from his first one, right? I would think it. So
I guess, well, because he had his first, but his first one with Fantasy on it.
Yeah.
And then the second was that one where we got the album for free because one of Mom's friend's daughters was dating a guy in the band. Remember with Monkey on Your Back? Monkey.
Yeah, that was on that same album.
Oh, that was same album?
That was all on that same album.
Really?
That was just like another hit off that album.
I didn't even know that. I thought they were totally different. I thought it was another album.
So I had thought he like died or something, like, because you haven't heard shit about him.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he's coming out with 2.0 Reloaded. Well, so I gotta check this out and when it comes out.
Aldenova. All right. Yeah. You know, he has something to do with Bon Jovi too. I think he helped Bon Jovi produce the first Bon Jovi album. He had a lot to do with him. Yeah, the Runaway single, that album, I think is Runaway. Yeah. Was that? I think that was the album, or no, it was Bon Jovi.
Yeah, I think they had another EP before that, but that was that was on their first. That was their first so-called hit.
Yeah, he's tied in with Bon Jovi, and then.
But he's Canadian, right?
Yeah, he's Canadian.
From what I remember, because we were all into him for a while when he had that album. And said, Mom's friend.
Gladys was her name.
Yeah, that was the bass player's son, right? I mean, that was the bass player's mom.
No, her daughter was dating
the bass player.
I think the bass player, yeah.
Okay.
Because that was the thing. She hooked up with a guy in the band, and then it was like, oh, here, she can get us autographed albums. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. But I was a little kid. I'm like, who's this? I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
There's a rock star? Okay. Like, who the fuck is it?
Well, I remember the video because they played it. You used to play a lot on MTV.
Yeah.
And that was cool, the fantasy video.
The fantasy video, because that was before I even knew it. I only saw the Monkey on Your Back video because now I knew who he was.
Yeah. Then the monkey on the back came out and it had that little monkey returning.
Yeah, monkey on your back.
It was cheesy as fuck now. Thinking back.
Hella cheesy. You know what? On Friday nights, Jennifer puts on MTV Classics, and they just play old like '90s videos, old videos, and I think at like 10 o'clock or 9 o'clock they do old headbanger videos. And dude, it's trippy to watch those old videos. Like, this shit's hella cheese now. Yeah, I didn't catch that one.
So I see that. I was like, I got to mention that one. And then, along with the new albums coming out, Kirk Hammett released this week he released his EP. Portals. We had mentioned it before.
His solo release.
Yeah. So he finally released it. But I was looking. I haven't found like no videos on it or nothing.
Probably hasn't made a video yet. And I know he said that did James and Lars give their blessing to this, and he was kind of surprised that they're cool with it. And
they're not going to Newstead him.
Yeah, especially with all. I'm like, how fucked up, man. Jason Newsted.
Kirk's a little bitch. I don't know personally, but just the way he carries himself in some interviews.
Well,
it's like he leaves it like they're the parents, and then like he's the kid.
Kind of, yeah. But I was reading it, and I got a news segment, and it's going to tie into that. Not so much. It's just the Metallica saga and their stuff. But yeah, I read that, and I'm like, oh, dude. So they gave you their approval, maybe because it's like poor Jason. They realized all the fucked up things they did to him. And then it's like, then Robert Trujillo comes in and you're like, hey, we're going to be fair to you. Because we did wrong by Jason. And it's like, that's so messed up. It's like being the, what do you call it? When you go start dating somebody that just broke up with somebody, you're just God dang it. Now it's straight. The rebound.
Yeah, the rebound.
Yeah, and it's like you get shit on, and then the next person benefits and gets, hey, real commitment and all that shit.
Because you just took a crap on that other one.
Yeah, poor Jason. He was the rebound because they didn't know what to do after Cliff Burton.
Eat the dog shit. Eat the dog shit.
Eat to catch it. I will not
want to touch his ass.
Yeah, maybe you do.
I do not want to touch his ass.
Jason touches ass.
Motherfuck.
And then going along with that, I guess he's going to be hosting a panel this summer, Midsummer Scream. It's a horror fest.
Yeah.
And that I do know he's a big horror fan. So
yeah, he does.
That makes sense. He's kind of promoting his album.
He does. I think he is this his show or he's just a part of it?
He's just going to host a panel at it. It's like it's like a horror festival.
Yeah, I know he's held them before where like he was like put it together and behind it. Yeah, produced it. Yeah, he's a big horror fan. Yeah. He likes horrors. And movies.
Motherfucker. He's probably fucking bad dogging us hard right now. Hey, but we're talking about his new fucking EP that I wanted to hear, but he didn't have nothing out.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. But yeah, well, you know what? Let me go into mine. I got one. Right. James Hetfield. He in an interview, it comes out that I guess they were interviewing the Load and Reload, the artist behind making those album covers. Well, Kirk and Lars at the time were big fans of this guy. And I guess he heard on an interview that James Hetfield was saying he didn't like him. He was not fond of that whole. It
looked like a cum shot.
It was. It's blood and semen on one, and then I think you were calling it piss and vinegar, and I forget, but yeah, Hetfield was not fond of it. And what he said was that Lars and Kirk at the time were going through like a YouTube phase where they wanted to have like this alter ego thing going on. So that's why they started putting on the makeup and shit.
Oh, shit.
James cut his hair, but he's like, dude, I'm not, I understand an image thing, but he's like, I wasn't comfortable with any of that shit. I just was not doing that stuff.
But he wore the panties, right?
What?
He wore the panties, right?
Oh, I didn't read that.
He just would have put the makeup on, but he put the panties on underneath.
Well, they all did cut their hair. I think James was like, okay, I'm just going to cut my hair. That's it. All right.
A little eyeliner.
And I'll shave. I'm not going to do the freaking redneck chops no more. The mutton chops.
Shit.
But yeah, so that's when the eyeliner and the nail polish came out, and James said, yeah, he wasn't too into all that stuff. So, but yeah, that adds to your story there with more Metallica stuff.
Well, I got another one on that one too.
Yeah, I see your Metallica story.
This is their offspring.
Yeah.
You've probably seen this one. Otto. What the fuck? Castor. Hetfield's son. He plays drums.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And then Trujillo's son. He plays bass.
Yeah. Bass
so they're in a band. They got, I guess, a 3-piece. And I guess it's called Bastardine. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Oh, really?
So they got an album out, and I heard one of the tracks on there. Well, actually, I checked out a couple tracks. It was all right. I mean, it kind of has like a grunge sound to it.
Yeah.
And what's funny is the drums, to me, they sound like Lars, even though it's Hetfield's son playing the drum. But he has, it sounds like, the Lars style of drumming.
Yeah. Is it heavy? Is it fast? Or is it just, you said it's like grunge? It was like punky?
Because I wouldn't call it, I guess you could say it's metal, but yeah, it's kind of punky. So it's kind of got like a grunge feel to it. Yeah. It's all right. It's not bad.
Yeah.
But I caught that because I'm a drummer. So I was listening to the drums and I was like, damn, he sounds like fucking Lars.
Well, I mean, it's got to be a big influence in his life. I mean, shit.
Because his uncle or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's
been together.
Grown up. Yeah, Lars has been in his life. And Lars probably showed him stuff, too. Hey, fucking do it like this.
Yeah. You sound like Bonham if you do it like
you
that.
Fucking, and then you get your eyeshadow and you put it on over here.
Put the panties on first, though.
Oh, dude, when you say that with the
what?
Well,
you're wearing panties. Huh?
No, fuck it. This is a story I heard that, well, Steve told me, but I guess they're on tour and the band Trivium. It's not that their panties, but it's probably that they were collecting them. But like, so in their dressing room in the back there, in their stuff, they had like a wardrobe thing kicked open, and like panties were all draped in there. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know if they were wearing them or not. Yeah.
Well, I heard a lot of bands do that or did that or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. But I thought, wow. And Steve's like, I don't know, but I just saw that. And I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. I mean, maybe they got a fetish. I mean, like a Bull Durham when he makes him wear the freaking the lingerie shit under his baseball thing. And he's like, what I'm thinking of. He's like, oh man, this is so uncomfortable. But I'm pitching. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that was just a story. But I was just like, well, maybe I shouldn't tell it. But it's really, who cares, right? Yeah. Anyway.
And then, well, speaking of the tracks out, Def Leppard, I brought that up, I think, last episode.
Yeah.
That they're coming out with a new album. So they got their new single, Take What You Want, and they actually got like a little video for it. So I watched that. This is Def Leppard. It's I wouldn't call it straight like Animal, like that album. And it's not. It has a couple riffs that are kind of like reminiscent of like High and Dry, their early shit.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a mixture of like, you know.
What, High and Dry and Hysteria had a butt baby?
Yeah. But it's more Hysteria, but not really, you know, it's not as many like sound effects or the samplings, I guess, like they had on Hysteria.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I haven't heard the whole album. I just heard that one track that they got out. But yeah, it's definitely Def Leppard. When you hear it, it's, you know.
Well, yeah, that's
it's their sound.
That's what they do. I don't think they could get away from their sound if they tried.
Yeah.
Not after this long.
So what else you got?
I got Lamb of God. So Randy, I guess, caught COVID, so he had to miss the show. So they got what's his name? They got the singer from his replacement is Joe. I'm gonna mess up this guy's name. Joe Bandaletto from Fit for an Autopsy out of New Jersey. Yeah. So he's singing. He's doing a couple shows. His first show with them was Green Bay last night in Wisconsin. And then John Campbell, jeez, yeah. John Campbell, the bass player, he got COVID, so they needed a bass player replacement. And guess who filled in on bass?
Who?
Phil Demmel. So,
is that why he's in fucking up there in Wisconsin?
Yeah, he's playing.
He was posting some pictures on Instagram this week.
Okay, so you saw that.
Yeah, he was in front of Lambeau Field. Like he said, he was going for a run. So what the fuck? I don't remember him saying anything about Violence having a show up there or anything.
No, he was playing bass for.
I thought he was their fill-in guitar player.
He is, but
now he's the bass player.
Think about it. You need somebody in a pinch. He already knows the guitar lines. Well, just play the bass. You know.
Yeah.
If you can play guitar, you can play bass. So, yeah, I found that because I started looking at that article. I'm like, well, let's talk about this. And then there's Phil again. He's just, dude, since quit Machine Head, like he just started networking big time. And you know, he's getting these extra jobs and here's a gig, do this, here's a fill in, do this. And it's working out for him. I'm glad for him, you know.
Speaking of all that shit, I heard, have you heard the new track, Machine Head? Their album's coming out in August.
Yeah, I heard it.
But they got that new video.
Choke on the ashes of your hate. Yeah.
Yeah. So what'd you think of that?
Yeah, it's all right.
It's definitely Rob because he's got like that same lyric kind of vocal line.
I'm like, well, when I first saw the title, I'm like, okay, are you going to be preaching? Stop with the political crap. I just don't want to hear it, man. I want to be entertained. Everybody could stop with that stuff. And then it's like, okay, I heard him talking about it. It's going to be a theme album and he had the characters. I forget. There's 2 characters, and I start tuning out when you start talking about all that shit. So this is basically going to be Rob Flynn's Wall.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. All the songs are tied into a story. So, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I heard it was like, okay, that's Machine Head.
Yeah.
I don't know. The drums, it sounds like they're trying to get faster, but they're not like Baba Yaga fast. So,
no.
So, you know, it's like after hearing like Baba Yaga, that shit, you're like, this guy's all pussies now, you know.
Slaughter to prevail. Yeah.
You know,
dude, they made Master of Puppets sound like
they made it sound
shit.
like fucking old fashioned.
Yeah.
When you hear that track, because I was like, oh, they did remake a Master of Puppets, and I heard it, I was like, blah, 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 blah. I was like, holy shit. Fucking Metallica would shit themselves, they try to play it like that.
Fuck, that guy's gonna take my fucking job. Hey, you want a job, guy? I'll get you a green card.
Well, you should have been playing that song.
Want to move over here from Russia? I bet you he does now.
So yeah, it's like the new drummer that they got in Machine Head. It sounds like he's trying to play that style.
Yeah,
but he's like slow at it. I mean, he's fast, but compared to
yeah,
he's not up to par with that.
Yeah, I haven't looked up what band he came from. I mean, that might just be his style. If you go check out his band, then that's just what he plays, and maybe that's what Rob Flynn likes, and that's what he wanted. But
yeah. So
yeah, hey, I don't know. It's Machine Head. I get like that, like where I listen to something and then I just burn out on it and then I'm over it. The whole Rob thing and Machine Head, I kind of grew out of it. I mean, in the 90s, that was just, Plain Davidian and Burn My Eyes, that whole album. So, yeah, hey, more power to him. Good deal.
That, and then have you heard the new Korn one?
Their new single?
Yeah, they got a new video out.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
That one, it's Korn.
Yeah.
But it could be almost one of their other songs. Like, because he starts doing that scat shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then...
Well, he hasn't done that in a while. Actually, in his last, 4 or 5 albums, they've been more like, does his little
whiny bitch.
Yeah. And then, it's been pretty much the same formula, but I haven't heard that one yet. So
yeah, so it sounded like one of their older ones.
Maybe it's kind of going back to that old style. Like, I mean, he kind of came up with that. Nobody was doing that. And then bands started to copy that. So
yeah.
No, I haven't heard that one. I gotta check it out. But
that's what I was gonna say. Well, we should write a song since we're writing new songs.
Yeah.
I'll make a whiny song, and we'll write out all the lyrics like a real, it's a real song with lyrics. But then when you go to sing it, you sing it like kind of like a Cornell, like nasally, kind of whiny.
Yeah.
And then it's like you're mumbling words. So when in the recording, you can't understand what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
You're just like, nah, nah. But then we have the lyrics. So people will go, oh, well, there's the lyrics. That's what he's singing. No, yeah. I get it.
Yeah. But that's the same thing. Like, well, in the reverse, like maybe not like a Cornell, but like when you go watch death metal or black metal back in the day, and basically what everybody call Cookie Monster. This one is about finding peace. And it's like, you go look, they have lyrics for those. It's like, what the fuck are you saying?
Yeah, that reminds me of what the fucking album, the CD I had. But anyway, this is the one about the wolf. And then he comes in there.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's the same thing. That's kind of what you're saying. It's just doing it in a different style, but it's
different style.
It's basically ripping on. Even the rappers have gotten onto that. I think they call that like mumble rap, where you're like, "What the fuck's this guy saying?"
That reminds me of Steve. Like, remember when we were recording our demo, his song "Evil Ones"?
Yeah,
like he would sing it, and I didn't know what the fuck he was singing, and it wasn't until we were recording it, and he had his lyric sheet right there. And we were taking a break, and we're like, "Is that your lyrics? Let me see that motherfucker." So then I remember we read it and I was like, oh, that's pretty deep. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing when you get heavy like that, you can't understand it. And even, like, dude, the Baba Yaga. I have that song I don't understand, but I've listened to it so much now I do. But,
well, that term Baba Yaga was familiar because if you watch John Wick.
Yeah, he's the Baba Yaga
in there. Yeah. So, and then you can look up that fairy tale.
He don't look like a witch and live in a chicken foot house. What the heck? Where's
Michael
this chicken foot house?
Right there. He opens the door and shit.
Dude.
Sammy comes out.
Yeah, chicken foot. Yeah, ding, I just got that one. Yeah. What's up?
You just had a birthday, so you're a year older.
Yeah.
It's understandable. You're turning to Banana Man.
I'm old. I'm creeping towards the mid-century line.
another son of Banana Man.
Yeah. And my brain will be going soon. We're just going to be talking in freaking circles pretty soon. You're just going to be
idea. That's going to be our podcast pretty soon.
We're going to be like,
going to be mumbling.
And then I remember that we were on the moon one time, and what the fuck is this guy saying?
You have to put transcripts out so people. Oh, I get it. Yeah. What else you got?
So I got Skid Row, that new lead singer that they got. Apparently, well, he's from Sweden, and he was on the Swedish Idol or Sweden Idol. You know, their American Idol, but of course Sweden. Yeah. And he sang 18 A Life to Go. And this was, I didn't see the date, but basically years ago he did this. And then he got into music. He was inspired by Sebastian Bach and Skid Row. He loved them. And then he had played with artists like John Legend, Alice Cooper. So he had done some stuff. And then he got diagnosed with leukemia. And I guess as he was coming out of that and a way to heal, he started putting up YouTube videos. Uh-huh. And because of those YouTube videos, that's how Rachel, what was his last name? Rachel Bolan from Skid Row, the bass player, found him and then asked him to audition. So it's kind of like, it was kind of trippy about that is it's almost like that movie Rockstar. It's like this guy basically had that kind of experience. Inspired by that band, he loves that band, and then he ends up singing for that band.
Well, another one is Journey, that Filipino.
Oh, the Filipino guy, yeah,
because he sounds like Steve Perry.
He fucking nails it. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, did you watch that documentary?
No, I've seen I've seen their concert. I think it was in Manila. I think it was Journey in Manila with him singing. Yeah. And dude, that's the thing though, man, with vocals, your throat, eventually it goes. It's not like a drum head or strings. You just retune them, put new strings on. Yeah. Once it goes, and everybody knows this, like, look at old Robert Plant stuff. I think that's why you don't want to do no Zeppelin. He can't sing like that anymore.
Well, he said he's feeling like the old man on Zeppelin 4, the cover.
Yeah.
You know, they got the guy with the hay.
Yeah, the old dude, yeah.
Yeah, he says that's how he's feeling. I go, yeah, that picture, you're looking like that motherfucker, too. It's like, dude, at least you admit it, you know. Like,
yeah, but, you know, you're going to age and your voice is going to go, and then they got these new kids that just do you.
Yeah, because they've been idolizing you.
Yeah.
They grew up, and they have that vocal range, so it's like, oh.
Yeah. That sucks, but I guess that's the era we live in now. It's not used to be the front man. If you lost your front man, it was over. But nope, not anymore.
So and then I watched on YouTube I follow that Backstage channel.
Yeah.
And they had a full interview with Jeff Tate. Remember that controversy about are they going to get back together for a reunion?
Oh yeah.
And that they were offered a insane amount of money. So that was the debate on the fucking title of the interview, right?
Yeah.
Are they really going to get back to? I'm like, maybe there's a new development. So I watched the whole fucking thing. It was like 25 minutes. And he went on from the beginning and their history. And it wasn't until the last like fucking minute. He goes, well, there's really nothing there for us. I mean, if it was like to come back to do an album, that would be something. But like money's not really motivating anybody because, you know, everybody's pretty well off. And so like basically no.
Yeah.
So now Jeff Tate even said, yeah, that ain't going to happen. But it's like it took the whole, I was like, you motherfucker.
That's
you
like
wasted the whole fucking interview for that shit.
That's like when you read these headlines and it's like, what? You know, you're something sensational. And then you get to the fucking bottom of the damn article and it's like, oh, but that's probably not going to happen. It's speculation or whatever. It's like, what? Well, in the headline, it said this was going to happen.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's like 25 minutes. I'm never getting it back.
Yeah. That's how they get you, man. That's the bait. They hooked you in. You were the fish. It caught you.
Yeah. You got anything else?
that's about it. I mean, I saw a few other things, but most of the stuff is COVID. And I mean, Jason,
I'm kind of skipping that because we've done a lot of this over this one. Band had COVID, and
it's old hat now with the COVID. The only reason I mentioned the Lamb of God thing is like, oh, there's Phil on bass.
Phil popped back in.
Phil's like, okay, I'll play bass too.
Bass player,
bass player, guitar player.
He's you get to start singing for him too.
He's the Swiss Army knife of metal.
Oh God!
So way to go, Phil, stepping up. Yeah, the one I was gonna mention, then I read through the article and there really wasn't much there. I guess Jason Newsted kind of freaking let it out, but
that's the last one I had, so we'll talk about this.
Yeah, he let the cat out of the bag about a Van Halen reunion, and he got asked to do it with.
Well, yeah, it's a tribute tour.
Tribute, yeah.
But the thing is he got mad because he said he said it under the
off the record.
I don't want this on the record.
This is off the record.
You're talking to a journalist.
Yeah, you don't fucking do that.
Happen.
That's not your fucking friend. You don't tell him shit like that. He got a little too comfortable, is what it sounds like.
And Dave chimed in on it. So they were talking, or have been talking about it.
Yeah.
Because he chimed in on
Satriani chimed in on it, too.
And Satriani, I watched an interview with him on YouTube, and he admits it. He said, yeah. He goes, well, Jason threw us off when he mentioned it. We weren't supposed. We all agreed we weren't going to mention it, and then he went and mentioned it. So he goes, but, I'm not upset with him. But, he goes, said him and Alex have been talking.
Yeah.
And so they really kind of want to do something, but they want to do it right. They don't want to just do it cheesy.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but then they're like, I haven't heard them trying to get Michael back in for it, which is
that's why they got Jason. So.
Yeah, but then did you hear what Roth said? He said, we're now in this COVID era. We need to have two of each of us. So that way one goes down, the bank and keep doing their dates.
That's because fucking he had to cancel dates because his throat's going out. David Lee Roth can't sing anymore, Yeah,
he's a Robert Plant.
Yeah, he's in Robert Plant.
LA Rock.
They're in the same village.
Yeah. And they showed a picture of him, of course, the mugshot or the new pictures, or they put a picture of him up. He's all wrinkly. Dude, you're old as hell now, too.
Oh, yeah. No, well, I've seen David Lee Roth 6 months ago, maybe a little longer than that. He was on Rogan, and I watched the whole interview, 3 hours. That dude is definitely he's an original.
He hit the wall.
But he's still out there. He's still David Lee Roth. It's just the body got older. The throat's aging. Everything's aging. Yeah, that's why he wants a backup. So when his shit's gone, I won't sing for a week. I'll have my backup go do it. Yeah.
I could just, you go take it.
I ain't doing this shit tonight. Woo!
Well, they should just have Sammy and him then. I mean, because that would be the no-brainer.
Yeah.
Sammy did half the catalog anyway. So
But that, I don't know, Dave, that might just be his ego thing. Because Sammy's offered shit. He went on a tour with Sammy, and Sammy put it together. And then Dave was apparently being a dick and all that shit. That's what Sammy said.
Yeah.
And then they tried to bury the hatchet, but it's all Dave. But that was the 80s front man. That's what you did, and that ain't going away. I'm the superstar, Yeah, Brown Eminem. Well, that whole story, you know why that was, right?
Why?
Well, because they had really technical stuff, and everybody thinks it was just them being in excess, living in excess.
Oh, with the brown M&Ms.
With the brown M&Ms. What that was, where they got there and they saw that the brown M&Ms weren't gone. That means you didn't read the rider. You didn't read their demand, what they needed, because they were saying that basically with the stage they had and the electrical and the lighting systems that they had, they needed certain things to be done. So the brown M&Ms was their telltale that whether the contract, you get up there and you're like, fuck, this ain't going to work. We can't fucking play this with our shit. Yeah. So it just their setup and their stage is, that's the backstory on that. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what David Lee Roth said.
Or that's what he's saying now.
Maybe that's what he's saying now, but
so he doesn't look like
I heard that on Rogan too, because he asked him about the brown M&Ms, and he said it was because they were so technical with their stage setups that if you didn't do that, you didn't read the rider, you didn't meet the requirements. So, but who knows? It's, you can't prove it. So, yeah. And then that's about it. I mean, there's new stuff popping up, but I haven't read through them. So,
yeah, that's all I got pretty much.
Like I see one here, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't read through it. KK Downing says Motorhead was responsible for creation of thrash and speed metal. I think there's some truth to that. I mean, like I said, I haven't read it, but shit, Motorhead was very influential on Metallica. And the rest of the bands, Exodus and them, we're all listening to Motorhead.
Yeah.
Angel Witch.
And
ZZ Top.
ZZ Top, yeah. Testament came through here, Albuquerque.
Yeah, I saw that the other night.
And the stupid mayor, he's such a dick. But yeah, I guess he went to the concert because he's a fan, and so he's got pictures backstage with him. And I'm like, what a dick.
I forgot I was going to ask you about that because I saw that the other day on there.
Yeah, he's like
the mayor got up there
and shit.
Yeah.
So and before this, I had never heard that he was like a metalhead. Like in
Yeah.
But I guess he is. Who knows?
Well, that's cool though. A mayor that's into thrash. I mean, you wouldn't see that. I mean, I guess you're getting older. I mean, thrashers. There could be 60-year-olds that are thrashers now. So.
Yeah, he could have grew up.
That was their era. So yeah.
But yeah, he's got some backstage pictures that they posted up.
Yeah, I saw that on Blabbermouth.
So,
all right,
he's very, very controversial here.
Yeah, well, practice what you preach. Preach. Yeah. All right. Well, we don't have a bumper for this, but you want to get into our exposed. Exposed.
Yeah, we got to get a bumper for this.
Yeah, I'll work on that one next. That's the next goal. So Joe gets exposed. Get off my lawn. There it is. There's your bumper.
Sweet Jesus.
Turn that music down. So this week it's Ice Nine Kills, which you went with Iron Maiden background instead of Ice Nine Kills, but so the two that you did two, right? And then you explored.
Well, you gave me two, and then other videos popped up, so
I
watched more.
So it was Rainy Day and Hip to Be Scared.
Yeah, that was American Psycho.
Yeah,
based on American Psycho. And then Rainy Day was Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yeah.
And it's good production. Like, the videos were interesting.
Yeah.
Except that it said part 2, and I got suckered into that, so I watched part 2. There was no music. It was just like a little...
it was just a story.
Yeah.
Because there's a backstory with this whole thing.
Backstory to it.
Yeah.
But the way it said, you watch the Rainy Day, and it says part 1. So then when I seen part 2, I go, oh, they did like a reprise or whatever.
Yeah.
And no, yeah, it was just all like just acting.
Yeah, it was like your video, your article that you read or your video you watched. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, they're you know what they sounded like to me, the music.
Yeah.
Not the band because they look totally different. But they you remember My Chemical Romance?
Yeah.
That's the kind of sound it reminded me of.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean a little heavier than My Chemical Romance is more of a like new era. Well, they call it emo.
Yeah,
new era punk stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I could see that. I could see some of that.
Like I mean, the band don't look nothing like it's not like they're copying them or anything, but just musically, like how the music was.
Yeah,
if you close your eyes, I could kind of hear like the My Chemical Romance, which is kind of. A little odd, but I figured I'd bring that up. That I got that out of their music. Yeah, but they got a little high production on their videos.
Oh yeah,
so they got some people backing them or money backing them because the storylines on them, like the American Psycho one.
Yeah,
I mean it's like their sets and everything.
Yeah, it's like
the Resident Evil, the makeup and shit looks
all
like
the zombies, the CGI, and
yeah. So
yeah, the Hip to Be Scared. Even then when. They go into the Huey Lewis part and
the little bridge part.
Yeah, and then instead of talking about Huey Lewis, talk about Ice Nine Kills. I mean, are they? are they like totally impressive? I'm like, whoa, I'm blown away. No. But I like the whole horror movie thing. I'm a horror movie fan, so I like watching horror movies, and I think it's clever. I like,
So yeah, basically each song that they have or the videos that they've done, are based on different horror movies.
Yeah, they're one for Chucky, Child's Play. They have one, I think, off of they have Silver Scream 1 and 2. Those ones I gave you were off of the recent one, too. Okay. But I thought off the first one, they had Jaws. They've done it all. Friday the 13th, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Yeah. Any horror movie. There's Psycho. Yeah, they do Psycho, too. And so, yeah, it's clever. I just figured, hey, just see what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it or nothing. It was good. But like I said, the music reminded me of My Chemical Romance. That's what popped in my head.
Yeah, it's very, it's poppy. It's like, well, it's funny when we were recording the Stagnant album, the Juan Ortega, who's recorded stuff with Testament, Machine Head, and Violence, he was producing it, and he's like, you guys sound like bubblegum metal. He's like, it's like, dude, some of those songs I go home at night and they're stuck in my head. But it's just hella bubblegummy. It's not like you're not doing any crazy riffs or anything. There's no solos, and it's like, okay, I'll take it. I mean, it was trying to be more radio rock. And that's that's I guess, it's like pop metal. It's commercially viable and you could sell it to the masses. So
the only thing I say with them is, because they kind of got their niche now.
Yeah.
So they kind of box themselves in. I'd like to see how
they get out of that.
Yeah. I mean, if they keep going, they're going to run out of movies to copy.
Run out of horror movies.
Yeah. So they're going to have to come up with some new ideas, and see. I'd be interested to see what they do.
Well, it can. I mean, basically, I think it was like Slayer, for example. I think they said it in an interview. They were like, if people like think we're satanic or whatever, it's like, no, we're just horror movie. We're like a horror movie. People, the directors and writers of horror movies don't follow that stuff. It's just entertainment. They're just like horror. I guess maybe they're going to go that route.
Yeah.
Become a poppy Slayer. Talking about serial killers and
So, no, it was interesting.
All right. So, was it, out of the three that I've exposed you to so far, what do you think is your favorite?
Oh, Baba.
Slaughter to Prevail.
Yeah, those because they're so aggressive. It's like but then I've seen like now that on like on YouTube you click a video, then you pop other related videos pop up and shit. So I've seen like just interviews with the singer. What's his name?
Alex Terrible.
Yeah, Terrible. And like he's so mellow in the interviews. It's like he's like his persona on the videos, like his songs, totally don't match up. So it's like,
well, that's a good point, because remember when we were younger and we first met Phil, and we're like, wow, these guys are metal bands, and whoa, they got albums, right? They got CDs. And I remember our buddies, one of our buddies came down there, Pat, and his John's little brother. And he's like, dude, these guys got an album. And we gave him the CD and he's checking out. He's like, do they pull up in limos? It's like, it's that kind of perception that you have a CD. Of course, nowadays it's a totally different thing. You can make your own. But back then people perceive that. And I even think you and I had some of that perception that if you're in metal, you have to just, put this persona on. And it's like, that's not realistic. Yeah. People can't be that one thing 100% all day, 24 hours a day. At some point, they're going to be human and just be like, fuck, dude, I'm tired right now. I just, whatever, I want to kick back, fucking play some video games, do whatever.
Yeah.
So, no, it's good for people to see that. And I think nowadays with the stuff like this and YouTube and all these, Instagram, you get to see the person, not this fake thing that you put out.
Well, even like looking back at like Kiss when they had the makeup, and for so many years, like you couldn't see them without the makeup.
Yeah.
And then finally they said, "Oh, fuck it," and then they came out with an album with no makeup.
Yeah.
But then everybody's like, "Ma, what the fuck,
dude?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they finally trying to be free of that makeup. That's funny. I was just talking about that the other day, but not Kiss, but another band that put on makeup. I think we were talking about Mudvayne.
Metallica.
Maybe that's
Metallica really gets me because I was at Day on the Green.
Oh yeah,
now, that was memorable to me when they got up there to play. And fucking, we ain't got no fucking makeup. He was making fun of
that was Hetfield talking smack.
Yeah, and then a decade later, fucking, they got the makeup on. So.
Yeah, I'd like to think that wouldn't happen if Cliff was still there.
Fuck no, it wouldn't happen. They might have been wearing bell bottoms, but fucking.
Like, we ain't doing that, man. And James will. Thank God, Cliff. Thank you. Half the band fucking battling the other half the band.
Yeah.
We fucking need eyeliner, mascara. Come on, guys. No, but that makeup thing, like, that's one of those things when you're starting out, you want a gimmick. You want people to look at you and do, wow, watch this band. Man, I sweat so goddamn much when I'm out there. I've learned why, like, Hetfield has the wristbands. I started doing that, and I put it on my pick hand because when that sweat's dripping your eyes and some of this is burning, you could just go like this really quick. But if you got makeup on, you took time, you're putting like fucking Kiss and get the star and shit. You go do that, you just smeared it all, Twisted Sister. You smear all that shit. It's like, what how do you function with that? Or even not makeup, Slipknot with the masks. Dude, I bet they fucking hate that shit now. They're like, probably, dude, why did we fucking put these masks on? You got to tour through the South in the summer because that's peak season of touring. Yeah. And you got these bodysuits on and fucking masks and sweating your ass off. You can't fucking breathe. Dude, I think it's a curse. So any young bands out there starting up, just think ahead. If you're going to you want to do this for longevity, dude, you're going to sweat. And your peak time for touring is summer. So just keep that in mind. It's one thing. Or there's bands out there now with the masks, like a band called Lordy. They wear costumes. Or you think about, what was the band, Gwar? They're wearing full-on costumes. It's like, dude, really? Talk about hell. Dude,
just like Hanna-Barbera characters.
It look like Hanna-Barbera characters. Imagine doing your tour in Tennessee in August, and it's all sticky, sweaty, and you're in this freaking Hanna-Barbera costume. It's like, oh, fuck. And then you got to play and sing. You're like, oh, fuck. Just 3 songs in, you're like, dude, I need a bucket of water to guzzle because I'm fucking sweating it out. Yeah. No, I'm not making fun of bands. I'm just like, that's one of those things that you don't think about when you're trying to come up with images and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do it. Don't do it. If you're thinking and you're a new band out there, don't do it. You'll fucking hate it.
Or do it and have guys like us talk shit about
it. Or do it and fucking go, man, those 2 fat Mexicans were fucking right. Damn it, what do they know? They're just in bedrooms talking on a fucking camera. They don't know shit. No, we don't. Yeah. Just make some old man recommendations. That's just that old man talking. Look, son, this is how I see it. All right. Yeah, I guess we floated through that one.
Yeah. I was trying to think, did I have it? No, pretty much that was the main point, is what they sound like. And just that question is like, I'd like to see what happens when they kind of run out of these horror,
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Where are they going to go? Because now they've done it twice. Where you do the Silver Scream 3. Yeah. Okay, I think at that point, people are going to go, no, I'm out.
I mean, there's a shitload of horror movies, but, a lot of them are shitty,
Well, most of the ones that in Child's Play, come on, it's not.
They're kind of stretching.
Or like Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't even think I've seen that one, and I watched a lot of fucking horror movies.
I've never seen that one. I've heard of it.
Yeah.
I've never sat there.
You got the big ones like Psycho, Halloween, Friday the 13th. You did, and they do all those. I mean, they even do one for Pet Sematary. It's like
they did one for Scream. I haven't seen yet.
Oh yeah,
it popped up.
Yeah,
where they got the mask on, and I was like, okay, that's Scream. So yeah, they've done like the major ones.
Well, I guess we're gonna stay tuned and see what they do next. Balls in your court, Ice Nine Kills.
Gremlins.
Is that a horror movie? I guess it gets kind of dark, but
it could be.
It could be, I guess. With
Never ending story. That's
Spike. Oh yeah, with Falcor, yeah, and Atreyu.
And then they could go Labyrinth, David Bowie.
Oh damn. You go.
Or Tom Cruise, and what's that one where he played the devil?
Oh, that Legend.
Yeah, Legend.
Yeah.
See there.
Oh, there they go, Legend. But that wasn't even, those are more like fables. Well, there they go. Yep, that's it. See, the two fat Mexicans did it again. You just gave them new concepts. Go into like fables instead of horror movies now. Now we're gonna do fables.
They do fables. You got that Pan?
Yeah, Pan. Yeah.
So see, there's another album.
With that Mexican monster, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, he's Spanish.
Guerrero. Yeah. Tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't even speak Spanish.
Hable Españolo?
I'm a coconut. I used to call me a coconut.
That's what my ex-coworker, she's Mexican and she came from Mexico, but she was kind of high end. Like her family in Mexico, they had money and stuff, and she migrated over here. She would call me coconut. Hey, coconut, you're coconut. I'm like, whatever. I don't give a shit.
If you're trying to offend me, you're not.
You're not. Okay, whatever. Yeah. Hey, that's just how it goes, you know. But hey, all right, so let's do you just do Turn It Up.
Turn it up. All right.
It's now time for Turn It Up.
Yeah, and we got Eddie behind you.
Eddie.
So,
all right, let's start with the questions.
Yeah, as we figured out after doing this 4 or 5 times and going, oh, all my questions got answered. We talked about the band. Fuck, I don't have no more questions. All right, so I think I got some good ones here.
Oh shit!
I don't know if you're gonna get them all, but let's see. Yeah, let me get ready with my buzzer or my. Let's see. All right, okay. So, what instrument did Steve Harris want to play originally?
Guitar?
No. And this is the reason I picked this for you. Take another guess.
Drums?
Yes. He wanted to be a drummer, but where he lived, he didn't have the means to play it, and it was too loud. He didn't have any place to play drums, so he wanted to stick with the rhythm section, so he picked up the bass. Yeah.
Well, he ran away at 16 because that song is based on his life.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Wherever he was living at the time, he didn't have the means to play drums. You know this. Joe used to play his drums at 5:00 in the afternoon, which is like the middle of our parents' night, because they'd get up at 9:00 at night and go to work. Yeah. He'd come home from work and then start playing his drums in his bedroom. People down the street could hear the damn drums. He'd do this every night. And yeah, it's kind of loud. So yeah, he decided to play bass.
Fucking kid.
Fucking kid. I didn't wonder why she said the fucking kid. Okay, so as of 2021, how many albums have made and sold worldwide?
It's in the millions.
Yeah, a lot of millions. A lot of millions.
100 billion millions.
100 billion millions.
I'd say 45 million.
Nope.
Oh, more?
I'll give you 3 tries.
They're not like in the fucking Beatles, right?
Why? What are the Beatles at? I didn't do any reading.
I thought they were like in 300 million.
No, then it'll be
up
down
in that area. Yeah. Say 99 million. 150 million.
200 million, over 200 million.
Damn.
200 million albums sold. So, yeah, that was out of 5 guesses. That's a no. So you're fucking over 2.
I'm like all over the dartboard.
That one's straight in Wikipedia too. I'm sure you fucking read that shit, or did you just watch documentaries?
Well, I was going off my memory, which I shouldn't fucking rely on.
Yeah, no, I've realized because I've been listening to our old episodes, and when we talk about bands, some of the earlier ones when we first did them, like example, Motley Crue, we watched the movies and documentaries and stuff, so we had a lot more about them. Or which was
Quiet Riot.
Quiet Riot was a good one because we went and watched that fucking documentary and we were just talking about them. So I did my research. I'm trying to do more research on the band. So, and that way, we don't pull a Dio.
A Dio.
Poor
no
Dio.
More rocking.
Yeah, no more rock for him, and that's about all we said on Dio. We didn't even talk about him.
No, I started talking about cruising, and then you
talk about cruising again with Zeal.
But yeah, Iron Maiden was not one of Zeal's fucking cruising.
Yeah, he wasn't playing Run to the Hills and Rewinding. Or 666 or 2 Minutes to Midnight. Okay, so there's you got it too. Let's see if you get this one. Okay, who did current drummer Nico McBrain replace? December 1982.
I remember, but I forget his name. And I know that's in the Wikipedia, but
you could have it up right now and fucking be fucking
but that's
open
cheating.
book. Shit, you're 0 for 2. Fucking at this point,
I'm buzzing out on this.
It was Clive Burr.
Yeah.
And Joe picked this band.
Well, no, I like this song. We even did a cover of Trooper.
Yeah, love that song.
And
when we talked about it before, their first tape that I got wasn't Peace of Mind. I forgot. It was Live After Death. But the first song on that is Trooper. And I love that freaking song. So, and then I went back and got it.
Yeah, well, that's the first one I got too, Live After Death, because Dan, my buddy Dan Warnock, War Baby.
Yeah.
This was one of the bands he was always listening to. Hit this, Judas Priest, and what was the other one? Fuck, see, now I got a fucking blank again. But anyway, Iron Maiden, he turned me on to them. And then I got, because I like writing lyrics, so I got into, they're like historical, a lot of their songs. Like he goes into depth, and their albums are more concept albums too.
Yeah.
Where they take a chunk of history and then whole albums about that, different aspects of it.
Oh yeah.
Period.
They tell great stories, basically.
Yeah, they're great storytellers. And so yeah, he got me in on that. And so yeah, the first one I bought was that Live After Death, because at the time that it was a live album, but it was a compilation of like their earlier albums.
Yeah, it was kind of like their greatest hits at the time. Yeah, basically.
So, and then that opened me up to the other albums. It's like, oh, there's this album, then you start getting all the albums.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, yeah, no, Steve or Jeff Zeal, the one that I used to cruise with my buddy.
With his cruising story.
This was later when I got into him. Like I had heard of him and I knew of him, but I didn't really like get into him until Dan. And that was right about the time I got out of high school, because I met him at work, one of the jobs out of high school I did, and we became buddies. And he turned me on to some of these bands.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, they were basically, a big part of the new wave of British heavy metal. I think probably the biggest of all of them, really. Not at the time when they were all coming out together.
Yeah.
But it's
looking back.
I mean, I don't know. There's always been that debate, Priest or Maiden,
Yeah.
And I think Maiden is bigger. Dickinson flies a 747 to Ed Force One.
Yeah, he's a pilot.
He's a pilot. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, dude, you get done with the show, you've been running around soaked in sweat, then you got to get your pilot clothes on and go fly Ed Force One. What the fuck?
Well, apparently he said that he's not going to do that now or no more.
Yeah, because he probably didn't realize.
Yeah. And it's like, what the fuck am I doing?
You have enough. You make enough money. Pay somebody to fly the fucking thing.
Yeah, and then he's getting older now, and then and now he's coming out with his solo album.
Yeah,
he's got a solo album coming out, and But yeah, I want to say, looking back, they were bigger, I would say, than Judas Priest. But Judas Priest was around in the 70s. They had started it.
They had started in the late 60s. So they were bigger. They were definitely bigger, and they were more established.
Until the late 70s that Iron Maiden came out.
Yeah, 75 Maiden, formed as Maiden.
Yeah.
But I think it's as early as 72 or 73 that Harris and Harris, he's the only original at the time.
Yeah, he's the one that's the founder.
That started, yeah. And the 75 they started Iron Maiden.
He had Paul, the original singer, Paul Di'Anno.
Yeah.
And he sings on the first album.
Yeah, but he wasn't even the original singer when they formed. He came along a little bit later. What was the demo? Decades official. Yeah, I had something I was going to say, but I don't know.
Don't say no more rock.
Just brains. Yeah, no more rock for me. No more fucking brains for me. But I found it cool that I guess the very first show they ever played was this Cart and Horse pub, and now it's the official birthplace of Maiden. It's still there today, and you can go there, drink, and it's a music pub, bands, and just to think that it's still here today. Yeah. But then again, it's England, so they're just outside of London, and that's the old world. The stuff doesn't just go and come like it does here. New strip mall gets put up, and then
they have a lot of pubs that are like 200-300 years old.
Yeah, that have been there, they stay. That's what that is, and that's what that's ever going to be. And,
but if this tells you anything, like we're talking about this, is that they made it, they hit it big in the 80s, right, with the British heavy metal wave, but nobody just does it overnight. All these bands have been around,
all of them. Even actually, to go back to the Ice Nine Kills we were talking about, I thought they were like young new bands. Like, they're not. They formed in like 2000. So it's been like 20 years, and now they're starting to kind of make a little bit of a mark. Yeah. It takes a while. For bands to come out and within like 5 years just blow up, that's rare. It's very fucking rare. You put in at least a decade, if not more. And those guys, I don't know if you remember, like, I guess they used to play demos at this Neil Kay. He was a DJ, and he had a show, Heavy Metal Soundhouse. He was the manager of there, and they would just play songs. They wouldn't even have bands perform there. They'd get demos and they'd play music, and then he would do a top 10, top 20? He'd do a top 20 list. And so he got the demo with Prowler, and he played it, went to number 1, and he posted in his Sounds magazine. So they basically dropped off a demo to this guy, and he'd play it in that club, and then he'd post up each week, what's on top in the order of these demos that are coming out, and that's how bands were starting to blow up. So I found that interesting too, because like it wasn't playing at this club; it was just, we'll play music, almost like modern day, where they have DJs, where you're not really performing, you're just playing music for everybody. And that's all that guy do. He would get demos and then play, here's the new up and coming thing. So they got that played, and then that caught on, and then they broke, and then they got signed. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, they and of course became super huge. They all over the world, man. They don't get much radio airplay. They get some, but they won't play their new stuff anywhere.
They won't. Well, they're not playing the Leppard's new shit either.
No, they won't do that.
I thought they were going to for sure play their shit.
Hell no.
They're like, no, but that Five Finger Death Punch they play. But
yeah, but they're a newer band.
They're sponsoring them or some shit. They got some kind of deal going.
But they're a newer band. If they play their music, that now they only have more current stuff. I mean, but then again, they're not new. They've been around for 25 years, 20 years. Yeah. So, and they're all around my age. So, yeah, that's just radio. That's just where we're at. They don't play new stuff anymore.
No,
But yeah, you have anything else to add to Maiden?
No, I would say that I kind of I didn't get to see them back then.
Yeah.
But I don't think because they're older now, I don't think I'd want to see them now. Just I want to kind of like the way they were, like remember them that way.
Yeah.
When I was younger. Even though I listened to their new album, it's Iron Maiden. It's like the Maiden album.
Yeah, but to see older bands they just can't.
It's the same reason I never seen the Rolling Stone. I wouldn't want to see them now.
Yeah.
Because one, it's half of them are dead, but they're just old as hell.
Yeah.
You're not getting, the prime.
Yeah, the show, I mean, as good as it could be, it's not going to be as good as it ever was. It can't be like when they were in their prime in their heyday. It just can't be. It won't be. You can't keep up. You can't do that shit, man. One thing, actually, this is one point I forgot. Eddie, the thing about, because they had Paul Di'Anno, they had Bruce Dickinson, and then they had another singer for a while because Dickinson left, and they came back, I think, in 99 or something, early 2000s. But I think really what worked for Maiden was Eddie. Once they started doing, because they used to go around, they just had this, it was very generic. It wasn't like the Eddie we know or the Eddie behind you. It was just like this face, and it was just a white face. You can look this stuff up in videos, and they would put it up there and then lights say Iron Maiden behind them. And that face, every now and then the mouth would open and smoke would come out. And this was like low budget effects they would use when they were coming up. And then the record company decided, hey, well, we could get an artist to do like a rendering of that head. And then they named him Eddie, and he became their front man. So it didn't matter really who came along and sang for him. Their front man is Eddie. It's kind of what everybody wanted to see. And Eddie was never going to go away. So that was a different thing.
Then that's what Mustaine copied with his Vic.
Yeah.
It's basically a copy of Eddie.
Yeah, it's copying Eddie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because no bands really did that before, but then after that, and there's several other bands they have their mascot or they have their,
Yeah.
Like Avenged Sevenfold, they have the skull with the bat wings. It's like, it's all based off of Eddie.
Eddie.
Yeah, so been there, done that. Simpsons did it. Maiden did it.
Yeah. So.
All right. That's pretty much all I got. I mean,
that's it. Yeah, check them out. I mean, their old catalog. They got a big catalog.
Yeah,
and especially their back. I'll put the link in the show notes. And if you haven't heard of them, which I'm sure it's probably impossible not to have heard of them.
But then again, because they are older, like some people might be like, oh, I don't know. I've heard their name. I just haven't checked them out.
Check them out.
Yeah, and I like to put the backstory in. Like, you can go and do like where they're at now and all that stuff, but most people don't know the origins of these bands or, how they came up and some of the story behind it. There's some real good, there's documentaries. I think there's part 1 and 2 and 3 on YouTube. Then you just type up Iron Maiden documentary, and they're long, like an hour and a half each. I just watched one. I got to watch the second one. And really, really good. So, all right. You got anything else for today? Or wrap it up?
No, I think that's it, huh? We're just getting ready for next episode. We'll be premiering the new song.
New song, be done, mastered, and hopefully have some video clips so we can show you like how many, like the tracks and everything. Because we're still learning to do this, and it's hard because right now I'm recording with Pro Tools, so I can't open another session and show you those, share my screen. So what I'm thinking I have to do is make pre-recorded video of it, and then we can talk over it,
Yeah.
And point things out on it. So, but next episode will be all about our new song, and we'll tell you where to get it and where it drops at. So,
we'll tell you the name.
Yeah.
Because we have the working name.
Yeah, we're still kind of working it out. But,
So,
all right. Check out all applicable links are down below. And please hit subscribe.
Yeah, and it's twobrosmusic.com, 2, all one word. And you can find all our links there. Plus, in if you're watching it here on YouTube or whatever, on your podcast, it'll have the links on it.
Yep.
On the page.
So, all right.
Until next time.
See you next time. Bye.
Later.